on, everybody? Today is going to be a very fun adventure, and it's going to be a quick one because I don't have a lot of time. I got some rehearsal, but I wanted to share something that I've been working on for everybody, and it's kind of like, I kept hearing a lot of complaints about controlling things with Move and people telling everyone else what they knew without even owning the device and what it can really kind of start to do, right? And I was just making kind of like an easy song there, but like if I went to a blank pad, right, and I just, if we just really quickly, sorry. So the idea here was, I read or heard people talking about like, oh, it can't really do anything or control anything, and so I put together a mutable instrument system here. And with the mutable system I have yarns up in the top corner here. I have edges, braids, streams, marbles, clone, tides, links, clouds, and shades. And the idea that like we want to make a sound here and practice our music theory. So I know yesterday we covered how I make music, and yes, actually gonna cover that really quickly again because I know everybody's like, what, theory? So today I'm playing in the key of F major, F, G, A, B flat, C, D, E, F, 1, right. And again, for anybody following at home, every time I think about making music, yes, I do this in my head. Okay? Major 7th, major 7, dominant 7. This is minor, minor, minor. And this is diminished. Alright, so, and we want to control our Eurorack using this theory in the key of F major. What would it be minor? It'd be D minor, right? That's our natural minor. It's F major 7. So, what I did down here was, oh, sorry, I didn't realize it wasn't in camera, is I'm telling you guys what key I'm going to start working in. Alright? And the key to doing all this with your Eurorack, okay, is some way to get MIDI to CV. So I use yarns, and I use iConnect Mio. It's not an advertisement, but it's literally USB to MIDI. Okay, it's class compliant. I plug this into the back of Move. And then you want MIDI out. Sorry, I'm going to move this cable way over in the back. MIDI out to MIDI in. And then it depends on what channel in Move. If I do Shift, right, MIDI, so it's the second button in Shift, right? I did that. And we're looking, okay. MIDI in, I want MIDI out, and it says track 4. And look up here. Okay, so in the first instance, say I'm making a beat here, and I want to send just clock out of Move. I would turn the volume down on this track, I can still see the control data. And you see the notes? Like, what if I wanted, okay, eighth notes? Okay, I got an eighth note clock running there. And I'm just going to use this as sound to mess around. And I'm going to say gate that timing into clock in. Look at this. This guy's clocked to the timing of this. So now you could say I want to go to envelope generator. I want to come out. I'm going to go into my effect. And then I'm going to put a sound. And I'm going to make sure I turn this down. Notice what's in time. And I got some swing, I bet. No groove. That's just how I play music. That's the jitter in the module. So, go make sure I'm in the key I said I was in. So note. Uh-oh. Aha, there we go. Back out. Uh-oh. I think, am I stuck? Oh no, okay, I got out of it. Woo! Sometimes I get stuck in stuff. Shift, music note, F. Major, right? Alright, the first chord that I'm thinking about, just so everybody knows, yes, I start thinking about a chord right away, right? So if I think about F, I'm thinking about F major 7, F, A, C, E, right? And I call it F major 7. So it's got this look like this, right? And so I'm going to play those chords, 1, 3, 5, 7. Alright, I got my sound in my Eurorack. It's in time because I'm sending that signal into number 4 here, right? So I'm clocking, good morning. Yeah, clocking the Eurorack, right? And now I'm going to do my F. So I'm in the key of F major. I'm playing my F major 7 chord, and I'm going to hit record. Well, I messed that one up, huh? Messed up the clock track, right? I can clear that, that's okay. Remember, this track is just holding clock in the Eurorack, so, you know. So you can hear it in time now, right? Here's my sound. And I'm in F now, so I'm going to do mine. Alright, so let's see what happens. It's nice to have gain control on clouds, right? So a drum's percussion sound. I got it in tune now with this, right? I'm taking my F chord. Now what other chords are in F that we actually can start using, right? Hey, what's up, buddy? What we could do is, now that I'm controlling my Eurorack with Midi in, right, in the timer, I can use an A chord, I can use a C chord. Remember, it's B flat, so this, I love this. That's a cool chord. That's your 5. That's your dominant 7, right? A, C, E, that's your 3 chord. What's the next one? A, C, E, G, right? Yep. And that would become what? 3. 3 chord, so we can do our 3. Which that's Phrygian. Right, Phrygian, if anybody's wondering at home. Dominant, that's Mixolydian. These are the scales I'm thinking of, and this is Ionian. Alright. And what I'm going to do now is on the other track, I'm going to start making a new type of melody. So we're going to think A. So I'll do A and F on the bass. Ready? And again, track 3, playing our F chord. Track 2 is playing these 2 chords. And our Eurorack is playing a note, just an F. Alright? Okay, so that was a clock timing example of the Eurorack. Thank you. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, that beat's pretty soft, huh? No, this is the original Digitone. I have just the original Digitone. The 2 just came out. I don't think I'm switching because just like original Digitakt I use, I like using the 2 boxes, where if you bought Digitakt 2, that would be for a user who only wants 1 box to do everything. 16 voices, 16 tracks. I'm using 8 tracks and 4 tracks. I only use 12 tracks when I use these 2 boxes. So yeah, it's a little too much. Okay, so the next example, we use clock as our first example here, where I took a clock out of the chaos module from the timing of the move, and this time I'm going to use that gate, and I'm actually just going to play a note now. So we're going to actually control a sound with control voltage, so I'm going to go volt per octave, and when we go to number 4, hopefully, guess what that is? We're playing our Eurorack module, right? So if I go to another track inside a move, let's go to a new set. I go to number 4, and I'm going to use this to tune my Eurorack. So watch this. We'll pick a blank sound because it'll give us a note that I can use. Probably a little off. My ear's pretty good, but I do like using a tuner. So I'm going to just turn the track volume down, and I use the tuner in Ableton. Yes, I do. And so I go to the tuner just like a guitar, and I'm like audio effect tuner. I'm going to put on that Eurorack track. And F, I'm a little sharp. There it is. Ha. There we are. So we're controlling braids right now, and I have Midi to yarns, yarns to braids, and again I'm going to make a nice beat. So here we go. Okay, and I learned a trick yesterday that I really like, that I actually switch the grid to a different timing sometimes. Because see that? What if I wanted to do like a really heavy roll at the end? You could actually turn that grid to 32nd note. I think it's not center view. It's the 3rd one in, step grid, and I'll do 32nd. Alright, and so now when I go back to this track, the drums, this grid should be kind of flying. And bar page 2. This is what I wanted. See that? And the trick I learned recently is I actually can hold each step and gently turn the velocity down of each step. So I'm going to actually get a fade out on my drum roll. Good. Right? Yeah, see? And that's 32nd note. Right? And now if I go to my fold, I'm going to do a 5 chord. Right? So 5, 3. Alright. And I'm going to quantize the grid so I don't have to think so hard when I'm playing a note. say the full grid. And Eurorack, of course, is monophonic, so I can only play one note at a time with my braids. Alright, so if I do 5, 3, 1, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1. So this is going to be a 5, 3, 1. And clouds is the effect y'all are hearing. That real dreamy sound is clouds. So we're listening to clouds with braids because that's what's making that nice, like, melancholy effect, right? So it's like a grain carrier. It's kind of like a smearing delay. It's got a little bit of reverb in it. If you're on the third setting, there's a like reverb control. So I like half reverb as well when I'm using it. Alright, so now the cool thing is too is in Eurorack, a lot of things, the reasons people use it is because of how crazy I can change the sound, right? Like I can take an LFO right now, our lead sound, and you start clipping because of clouds. Just totally normal. That's in my headphones, as you guys probably aren't hearing it. Right. Pretty crazy sound, right? So we were actually controlling the Eurorack from the 4th channel. Oh. Pretty neat, right? Sonic Cell. I don't know what Sonic Cell is. But yeah, I think any synth. I love synthesizers, so I mean anything that has like a saw, square, sign, some kind of filter. I like all synths. I don't really care. That's why I keep a lot of my modules. I know a lot of people sell them as fast as they can. But I try to hold on to everything, you know, because like I really like a lot of these synths, and even if people say over time they're not as cool, it's up to you to use everything as a creative writing tool. If you don't find it useful, then maybe it's not useful anymore. But, you know, alright, so that was pretty straightforward, right? We were just controlling, you know, a channel. I can also control something like elements. I can control another instrument. And in this instance, you know, that's just kind of this idea. I'm going to do one more example. We're still in the key of F major. So if anybody's wondering at home, yes, I'm actually thinking of key theory when I'm playing with my modular. And yes, we are in the key of F major. So real quick, if anybody wants to write this down at home or what I've written, because that way you can go home and practice with me. If you want to replay the video and solo over top of what I just played, you could, or loop it. But yes, if you wanted to think about the theory that I'm working on today, F major is the key. I use B flat as my one change in the key from like C major. This is one away in the circle of fifths. So if you look to the left, it's the first fourth, and B flat, of course, is your flat. And then as we look at it, that's the chord listing. And Joseph's playing a dominant 7, which is the Mixolydian quadrant, the fifth, the 3 quadrant, which is Phrygian, which is the A chord, and I wrote them as 7s, and then I'm playing an Ionian major 7th. So if you're wondering the chords I played during the video, those were the notes and everything that I was playing. All right, and from there, today, again, what we were talking about is using Eurorack kind of mixed with the Move. And the example I have right now is I have braids running with it, and as I play, you're hearing braids go through clouds, and I can switch because it's a wavetable. Sync saw or square. I have an LFO. Which this isn't really doing anything, is it? I hear it now. Oh. So I'm using an LFO in the system that's out of sync. I would mult that signal if I wanted it to retrig on key press. So see that? The gate signal? We have a mult. If I took the gate signal and multed it, this is what, and there's a trig in of my LFO. So what I would want to do is actually send that signal to 2 places, is my envelope generator and the trig in of my LFO. Right, pretty wild, huh? And that's a random source that's kind of jammed into the other signal. I'm going to move that. But now, as you can see, that LFO re-trigs on press because we got the trig in, right? So there's a couple ways you can make it just like an Ableton patch, like simpler. We have an oscillator that has filterage built in. Right? We can use that. It's a pretty cool modulation. So let's see. Pretty cool move control in the Eurorack, right? Right, let's do another sound. There's one that actually does have a filter that I like. That one. And I can put this in an envelope mode too. Just like a Moog now. That's our curve. Oh man, pretty cool sound, right? Alright, and that's what we're doing. We're controlling Eurorack because I'm using MIDI, USB MIDI, yarns, MIDI to CV, into the Eurorack system. I was playing in the key of F major. Okay, so this was F. And I know everybody's like, wait a minute, you make synth music and you still think of key signatures? Yes, I do. Because you have to, right? You can't just make music kind of randomly. And it doesn't matter if you're just kind of fooling around. I even think when you're messing around, if you write this out, you get better. Okay, so when I start messing around, I do that because the shift music note here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, actually tells us what key we're in. I picked F major. We could also pick D minor. We would have been the same key, but we would have been referencing the 6th note. And yeah. So another little share is I had a meeting last night or yesterday with the people who developed Move. So I got lucky and got to talk to them with like a one-on-one. And it was a group of us. We were in a Discord and we got to ask a lot of questions. But we're under the assumption that for 13 and 11 are all going to get new updated features, and someone said that they shined a light to see symbols that are actually there, and they would not confirm with us that there are actually hidden features coming hopefully soon, like before Christmas, but we don't know that for a fact. So I heard rumor there are hidden lights underneath there that we don't even see yet, and hopefully this was a good insight in just writing music and using your move to control MIDI. Now tomorrow I'll do it with another MIDI instrument. Maybe I'll control like an Elektron box, but my guess is I'll control a keyboard so you can see it with like a full synthesizer. And so tomorrow that's what we'll work on, instead of controlling the Eurorack like we're doing now with a USB MIDI and then MIDI to CV. And right, you can hear it's making fun sounds. Vocal fins. Oh. Okay. Well, hey, I appreciate everybody watching and hanging out and tuning in. Do yourself a favor, practice your music theory, practice writing music, even if it's very simple and only 4 tracks, and practice having a good time, maybe patching a synth you haven't played in a while in your house, or something that you don't normally use, an old synth, and sample it and have a good time. But everybody enjoy the rest of the week. Today's Thursday, oh my God. But yeah, thanks for checking everything out with me, and yeah, good seeing everybody. Take care.